everybody, and welcome to another breed review. It's finally time for yet another one of these. I'm very excited. I do want to start off by prefacing and reminding anyone who maybe hasn't followed my channel for long or who hasn't seen the breed reviews before, because I got quite a lot of crap for the last one. Not a lot. A lot of people agreed, and a lot of people were just nice. People don't have to agree with everything I say, just don't be rude and please don't personally attack me. I would really appreciate that because my confidence is very fragile. Like calling me an idiot or whatever, or that I'm only complaining because I'm never going to be able to do it myself. Duh, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here making videos. I would be actually applying for game design jobs, but I'm not because I can't code. Whatever. The stuff I say in these videos is not, oh, it has to be like this, it has to be perfect, oh, I can't take anything that's less than perfect. It's just like, am I supposed to say, yeah, this is decent enough? I mean, I have done that. Like, there were a couple horses last year that were just really good, and I barely had anything to say about it, and like nobody watched those videos because that's not fun. What I'm trying to say is this thing or this area of the horse or whatever has a lot of like opportunity to be improved, or but like there's opportunity to improve this horse in these aspects. That's what I'm making these videos for, you know? Not to be like, oh, the developers have done a terrible job and they suck and they don't deserve anything, because a lot of people took my video a little bit too seriously. So with that in mind, let's go check out the American Saddlebred. I don't have any personal experience with these horses. They're not really a big breed in Sweden. I did some research this morning. I'm trying to just like learn a little bit more about the breed. I was surprised to find that there was like 250,000 registered horses like globally, which is very cool. But it's not a massive breed, obviously, and then it's obviously the biggest in the US in America. It's a gated breed, meaning it probably has a lot of movement that is like breed specific, which I probably then I can't look at it in a critical way in the sense that I could in maybe like a dressage horse or something that I'm like familiar with, because I'm not entirely sure what breed specifics are. I try to look at some videos, I try to look at some footage. I feel like I've got kind of a gist of the horse, but I'm excited to see it in game. But I do think that we will mainly be looking at like, oh, what is there, like, is the rigging weird, is the movement weird, is there a lot of sliding, whatever, that kind of thing, rather than like, oh, is this a perfect trot or whatever. This is like exactly what a judge in a show would want. I do, however, know that I have quite a lot of American viewers, so if anybody knows more about these, maybe you have them, maybe you've written them, maybe you've seen them a lot in shows, I'd love to hear more about the breed, or like what you think about them and their representation in the game. So I'm very much looking forward to comments on this video to just like learn more about the breed, because it's always very interesting. With that being said, let's have a look at the horse in game. Whoa, my whole game just... Okay, are we good? Not only is the breed coming out today, but it's also Camp Western, which I'm very excited about, but let's prioritize the breed first. Wow, okay, there's a lot of people here. Not surprised, but I just want to see the horses. All right, let's check out some colors. I did kind of forget to look at what like the breed colors are, but I did see a lot of solid colors. But I do know that there were a couple of paints in this batch, but I'm assuming that that's going to be semi-correct in accordance to like, you know, the actual American Saddlebred Horse Association. So this is really cute, a cute black, but I get that it's supposed to be in like a sunburned mane and tail. Really cute, but it does look a little bit weird when the rest of the horse is like a solid black, but very cute. This one is lovely. I feel like I recognize this coat. Is this like based on a real horse? Because I feel like I've seen pictures of this kind of marking thing. Looks very gorgeous. I'm a big sucker for like a pinto, whatever. Somebody was also like very triggered with me in the comments of that last video because I end up saying it's a paint, and I know that it's not a paint horse, like the coat color. In Swedish we just call this a skäck, which is like, you can have a skäck of any color, but it's like in English there's like a whole bunch of words for it. You can have like a pinto, but I thought a pinto was like a certain pattern. And then you can also have like in like England you call it like a piebald or whatever. Like it's like whole bunch of different names. You know what I mean? I apologize. I'm not a native English speaker. I can barely speak English. So be nice, okay? You know what I mean? I love horses with a bunch of white on them. Whatever. I'm not gonna entertain this anymore. Let's move on. Ah, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color. Not a huge fan of the orange eyes. I feel like that's been a shtick lately. Like, the horses have had some very extreme eye colorations. This one is gorgeous. Look how shiny it is. I love it. This is probably one of the best like dark bays I've seen in the game. That looks wonderful, honestly. Oh, the gray is cute. Very nice. Very cute, very cute. I like that one. I like this one too. This is a cool color. Like a pale buckskin. Someone's probably gonna correct me in the comments. I apologize. I think this one, because I thought I was gonna get like one of the paints. This one is very, very pretty, and it does tempt me. But this one is just so gorgeous. Like the deep, rich brown, so shiny and like polished. Yeah, okay, getting this one. Let's have a look at the main styles. This is the default one. Oh, this is the one with like a really long bridle path. I did see a lot of understand why they wouldn't have that, but it seems to be kind of like show specific during gated shows, which I understand, like trying to show off the pole, I guess. And with the long tail, yeah, because I saw quite a that seems to be a thing as well, with like, but apparently when I was doing my research, apparently it's mainly fake tails. It didn't seem to be very common that the tails were actually this long, which I understand can be probably a nightmare to manage. I'm a little bit tempted to get this one because I really like the long bridle path. Cute, the roach. These seem to have become the standard mange, which I really like. I am also a big sucker for just like the normal, you know, sport horse mane or whatever you want to call it, but I feel like I should for once try to go a little bit breed specific. I want to see how this one interacts. The tail interacts with like all the gates, so I think I might be looking at this one. Yes, okay, let's go. I don't know what you are, my friend. I have no thoughts. Smooth brain. Names. This is always my worst part. Hold on. Having looked in my little reference list. Ringo. It's like Rango. That was one of my favorite movies. Okay, I'll see you in the arena. Alrighty, we are ready to have a look. I've been just fiddling a little bit with my reshape preset, and one thing that I've like noticed as I've been waiting is the idle animations just feel so busy. I know that people gave a lot of crap to the Frisian for being so like hyper and like always moving. There's been a couple of other breeds as well, but just like this whole like tossing the head, and I get that it's supposed to like be lively, let's say, but the problem is that like it almost feels like a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit stressed, and obviously I don't think that's what they're going for, but it's like that kind of, for me, that's the vibe it's giving off, which is a little bit like, I don't know, I don't enjoy it. I much more enjoy like a lot of the animations where they're like maybe resting, or if there's a lot of animations that they maybe cycle through, like they'll have one where it's like, ooh, a little bit skittish or whatever, but then that it like settles and it's like stands, looks around a little bit, maybe just like is attentive. But this feels like so high strung and so like stressed, and you know, it feels like I don't know, am I like at a show? Is that what's happening? The horse is like super like a little bit stressed out or a little bit hyper and hyped up. I don't know, it feels like it's been kind of a trend, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I just hope that they kind of bring back some more like more calm and chilled out idle animations. But overall, the model, I feel like it looks very nice. It's obviously very sleek, very slender, and that seems very breed typical. Especially when I was looking at some pictures and videos, what I noticed was they're obviously very high strung. I'd seen these horses like a little bit, obviously, you know, I'd heard of them, but I was looking into them a little bit more, and it's like they're very, very high strung, like very straight neck, straight up, I should say that I mainly saw like the show horses, you know, they like the gated shows. So they move very high strung, a pretty short neck, very straight up. So I feel like it looks very breed typical in my opinion. The long tail, I might change away from this. It's like fun to do and have it now, but it's just like, it looks cool. I think it's gonna look better when I start moving, but in the idle animations here, it looks so weird and twitchy. It's like it looks like it has kind of a life of its own. But I understand that because it's like, it's hard to animate like hair, and this is obviously like extreme. But overall, I just feel like the model looks very good. They did look very long-legged, like skinny, very lean, basically. And I feel like this looks good. I really like this horse. I like this model just standing around like this. So I'm excited to see the gaits, because I feel like that's probably going to be something that's not going to speak to me that much. I'm not a fan of gated horses. I don't have anything to do with them. I don't have any interest in like having any. But I am excited to see what they do and see how they look in game. So let's get started with the walk. Okay, the tail immediately looks much better. I feel like now it looks a little bit more as it should. Like this looks like it has some weight to it, which I think is nice. And like I said, it's hard to animate hair, so having it like feel like it's physically sliding across the ground, I feel like that's a good job. Very good job. Head carriage looks nice. I feel like it doesn't look too short. A lot of the videos that I saw, they were very, very short in the neck, very collected. Not all of them looked very comfortable. Some of them looked good and like a little bit more extended, but some were like almost extreme. But I feel like this looks like a nice head carriage. They look very determined. It does feel like there's like a bit of snapping going on in this area here. But here's okay, let's look at this. This looks very good. Like, look at how it really looks like it's an actual muscle here. Moving forward and like compressing. If you've watched my breed reviews before, you know that I like to deep dive and rant about hind legs, because that seems to be the biggest issue. Like this looks really good, because it looks like it's an actual muscle, it's actual mass that's like compressing and folding in on itself, or however you want to express that. Like, that looks very good. I'm surprised about that. As for the front legs, so far I feel like they look good. It feels like there's some stretch going on here. They did look like they were very, because I noticed this when the horse was standing, like there's a lot of chest, but I feel like that looked to be a little bit pretty typical, just because I mean, I'm assuming that they have a lot of range of motion, so they're probably built like that. Like very like a protruding chest, if you will, and then protruding like shoulder. But it feels, in the walk at least, it feels like it's actually stepping forward. None of them, looking at the other videos, they did seem like they were pretty, like they had a short stride, but a very powerful stride. Very like determined and a clear pace in their movements or in their walks. So I feel like that, like the walk looks good. There's a little bit of a funky bend going on here, I noticed. I will say, they do look like they've got some pretty long toes, but that seems to be the way that these horses are shot, whatever. That they're trimmed, basically. I'm assuming it's got to do with like the movement, but they do look very like, looks like they got long toes. But yeah, the walk is actually really nice. They look very elegant and like they carry themselves very nicely. I like that. Very good. So let's have a look at the trot. Right. Again, tail looks very nice. I was expecting a little bit more front legs. Like, this looks like pretty normal. Like, I was expecting a little bit more front knees, I guess. Because seeing some of the clips that I saw of horses running around, and I don't know showing these, because it's hard to like know with copyright what can I show, what can I not show. It also takes like, it doubles my editing time. So when I say that I've seen these things, I don't know how much I can show, what I'm allowed to show. So that's why I'm only saying it. This is a verbal transaction. You're gonna have to believe me, okay? But what I saw a little bit of like horses in the pasture, even when like they were trotting, and even when they weren't maybe like super excited or like, you know, riled up or whatever, they did have a lot of like high knees. Kind of like, I mean, as I said, the trot horse would as well. Just like they have a lot of movement because it's like built into them. But here it's like it's not a lot of front knees. I was expecting a little bit more movement in the trot, but like from a personal preference, this trot looks really nice because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of gator horses. I like the more, you know, a little bit more mellow, a little bit more average, if you will. But like this looks really nice. Again, love the head carriage. Big fan of the hind knees and the movement there. The butt in general looks good. Let's see, it's hard with the dark horse, like in contrast to itself, but it doesn't look like it's a ton of warping going on here. That is good. Like that's so cute. That's gonna look so good in pictures. Hello. Yeah, that looks really nice. Very positively surprised. I apologize. I cannot speak. But yeah, this looks very good so far. Also, I love the little pricked ears. It's so cute. Like, it just looks so happy. It's like, look at him. He's trotting along. Very nice. Okay, let's have a look at the canter. Oh, okay. First of all, a lot of tail going on here. Whoa. It looks like a dolphin. A doll. Okay. Sorry. So, when I was looking at the videos of the shows or whatever, obviously a lot of like I said, like a short stride, but like a very powerful stride and kind of a high stride. And it's not as high as I thought it was going to be. Like I'm a little bit, dare I say, a little bit disappointed. Not really, but it's like I expected them to be more exaggerated. But I feel like that's honestly not a bad thing. Because it's probably like dressage and it's like, you know, like questionable if the movements are okay. It looks like they kind of surpass themselves. Whatever. I shall not be morally reviewing this horse. We're only looking at what I see. But I was expecting a little bit more. Like a little bit higher front knees. Maybe like at least at a 90-degree angle. Like just like a little bit higher. But maybe that's good. Like it looks good. But it's just like I expected more. However, what I do notice is that the front left seems to be like snapping into the ground a little bit, and the movements were pretty quick. Like they were kind of like with a dressage horse that's like kind of hovering in like the trot or whatever. They did seem to kind of like be pretty quick, but it does. I feel like it doesn't really work in the animation because it does look a little bit like it just like snaps. Not bad. Like it's definitely not a bad animation, but it's just like you notice it. I think more in game. They are pretty quick in real life, or like they got some pretty snappy movements, but it's like in the animation it just looks a little bit funky in my opinion. I will say I feel like the back legs look pretty good, because I did notice that they step under themselves a lot more than I maybe like had noticed or expected, which they don't do as much in game, but I think that's good because I feel like it's gonna be like, I feel like I say like. I'm saying like all the time. I'm sorry. But it's interesting to see that I feel like they find a nice balance. It's not exaggerated. They're not stepping into themselves like crazy amount. But it's also not the case of where we've been talking about before, like kind of opening up too much and falling backwards too much, or like stepping out too much when it's not warranted. If that makes sense. Interesting. Like this, I like this more than I thought I was going to. I think what would probably benefit the animation a little bit is actually no. I was gonna say that I would have liked a little bit more shoulder movement, but it's actually like never mind, because I just noticed there's a lot of movement here. Like it actually looks like the shoulder blade is moving, and I've been criticizing the shoulder blades a lot, so I cannot complain about this. This is what happens when I'm doing like a live feedback. I'm just like pouring out all of my thoughts, but I feel like that's what people enjoy the most anyways. So if you want coherent and concise information, this is not the place to be. Anyways, no, I think this actually looks really good. Again, really nice head carriage. The long tail is maybe like a little bit exaggerated because I feel like that's not how physics work. Like it probably should just like, the tip of the tail should probably just like stay on the ground a little bit more. But no, I feel like this looks good. All right, let's take a look at not the middle canter, because I've seen from the trailer that it's a separate gate. Yeah. Okay, so the saddlebag could have 5 or 3 gated. And the 5 gated was, oh god, it was the rack, or like the racking, which I believe, I'm not sure if this is it. Oh my god, wait, hold on. Google, where are you? Okay, so is this the slow gate? No, this doesn't look slow, this looks fast. So is this the rack? When I was reading about it, it was, both of them were 4 beat, but one of them was like not synchronized. Like it didn't, one of them was like basically a pace, and then the other one was kind of a pace, but not really. Reading from the Wikipedia article, the rack is a fast lateral 4-beat gate that is synchronous. Each foot meets the ground at equal separate intervals. Yes. And the slow gate, a slower, smooth collected 4-beat gate that is asynchronous. The lateral front and hind feet start almost together, but the hind foot contacts the ground slightly before its lateral forefoot. Yes. Okay, so that's what I don't know which one this is, because like I thought the slow gate was supposed to be, well, slow. And this doesn't look very slow because it's a special movement. And I haven't trained the horse, so I can't do it yet. But I am going to. Because like always, we're gonna review these at the end. But I believe, yeah, because this like is obviously not putting down the foot at the same time. So this is the slow gate. Not very slow, but yes. So maybe it's supposed to be slow, but they've replaced the middle canter with it, which is why it's fast. It does also look like it is sliding. Okay, I'm gonna have to slow this down in post. But like what it looks like is basically like, yeah, the horse puts its foot down. Its foot down. But then like, because if you look at this here, I'm obviously not gonna be able to capture this in pictures, but I'm gonna have to slow down the footage. You're probably gonna be able to see this when I talk about it. But it's like the horse puts its foot down there, but then it actually continues sliding before it like lifts off. But it's not supposed to, because it's obviously, you know, physics. Okay, so I feel like this is a gate that I cannot really judge, because I don't really know what it's supposed to look like. Like, is this appropriate? I don't know. But I can look at the movement. I would say the main animation is really good. I also really like the one-handed holds. I hope that they will bring that back, because I miss taking pictures like that. The animations look smooth. There's not a lot of clipping. I feel like there's not a lot of snapping. Okay, that looks a little bit funny. Why is the leg made of jello? Like, why is it... I don't need to say much about this. Like, it's the whole... I think it's a rigging problem. I would assume it's kind of the whole, like, the fetlock never actually straightens out, so it looks like an S curve here, which is like, this is bone. It should not be doing that. Kind of the same thing up here. Like, this is like the forearm, right? Because it's the elbow here, and you have like the forearm. And I'm assuming what's happening is that the leg animation goes a little bit higher than this anchor point allows it to, which is why we have this like weird bend or a break, which is not good. It's not really noticeable. It doesn't look very jello. Okay, a little bit. It does look a little bit jello-lated, yes. And there's a lot of shoulders. Like, it's very pointy. This is what the Dutch warm blood, whoa, wishes it was. Hello, Jesus, like a bodybuilder. Okay, this is again the like a gate or an animation that's like overdoing itself in a way. Okay, so I believe this was a slow gate, not very slow, but maybe it is slow considered. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. This is a fool's thoughts. But in general, I feel like it looks cool. You're definitely gonna be able to take some cool pictures with this. Not much more to say about it, really. Just here, I feel like I would have needed a bit more expertise on like how is it supposed to look, like what's good, what's expected. But so let's take a look at the extended canter instead. Wait, okay. Ooh, wait, hold on. Okay, the tail is giving me. I don't know what it's giving. It's giving possessed. Okay, let's see. That looks a little bit better. A little bit less distracting. But this is so cool. I'm loving this gate. I'm loving these animation. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I love how slow it feels. Like it feels just like really powerful. It's very extended. This is what I wish some of the like middle canters were. Where it's just like it doesn't feel super fast, but it feels like extended. Like in a way, okay, I guess you can go faster, but it's like just looking at it like this, it just feels really like extended and powerful. Like you're just like kind of letting off the hand a little bit and letting them stretch. And honestly, I love it. Look at this reach. Very nice. I'm so happy with their butt. I keep telling you about the butt in like every single breed review because that's usually like my main point of like concern or like annoyance, whatever. But like this horse looks so much. This horse looks so good, and I did not think it was going to. Let's see if we like. There's obviously a lot of hind legs, but like it's expected because it's a gaited horse. It's supposed to be like kind of like a rocking horse, like a lot of movement, a lot of leg. Like you can see the reach here, and it's just like. But even though okay, the hocks do go a little bit skinny here, I will admit, if I'm being picky. And again, the fetlocks, you got a bit of a whoop, but it's not clipping in on itself. Looking at you, Frisian, and like the Finn horse and whatever other like breed that does that, a lot of them do. I'm so positively surprised. What the hell? I did not think I was gonna like this horse, but I do. The tail is a little bit weird. Like it's flicking a lot. Like there's something going on there. That looks a little bit weird. But in general, like the reach, okay, this is so much better than I thought it was gonna be. I'm very happy with this. Obviously, like it looks quicker when I go like the maximum speed or whatever, and the horse is obviously not trained, but it's like it might look a little bit snappier when it's like fully maxed out, but it's like so far I love this. This is like it's a good combination of the self-carriage while also being really extended and being quick without feeling forced, if that makes sense. The movement is consistent in my opinion. Like I guess I was just maybe expecting or maybe wishing for like a little bit more, a slightly higher front knee. Like it looks pretty good here, but maybe I don't know. But maybe mainly in the trot. I think I was expecting a little bit more trot. We're of course gonna train the horse, and then we're gonna look at the special movement as well. But yeah, just honestly, I very positively surprised so far. We need to look at the rear and the sliding stop, or the full stop rotor. So let's have a look at this first. Okay, good. Oh, a little bit of a jump there. That feels good. I feel like there's been some extreme horses, but that has a nice slide. Very nice slide. I like it. That looks cool. That looks very cool. You're gonna get some pretty sick action shots. So let's have a look at the rear then. Hey. Oh, hold on. It almost looks like it's gonna tip over. Like maybe a little bit much. But like it feels like almost the hind legs are like swelling when it rears, which is weird. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of a cool rear, where it's the Tennessee Walker that like feels like you yanked the horse in the mouth and it's like about to tip over. It's just like it sits back, then rears, and then goes a little bit high, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. I think it's the Morgan that does that as well. It's like it looks so bad uncomfortable. Like it just looks really, I don't know, not nice. But I like this one. Right, let's have a look at the jumps. I believe that the trot and the canter is the same. So let's just go into canter right away. Let's see. Okay, so it's not a jumper, which I didn't really expect. This head carriage is atrocious, like jumping like this. But like I said, I don't expect it to jump at all because it's not really a jumping breed. Like the gaited horses that are very uphill usually seem to want to do this because it's obviously the way that they're used to carrying themselves, which makes sense. But yeah, not much to say about that. I will say it does kind of like, it's cute. They're so cute though. Oh my god. But they do feel like they land pretty quick. Like they're quick to snap back to the ground. Just a lot of like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Yeah, not much to say about this. I will say this, the back legs are very, like, they're hanging a lot. Just look a little bit uncomfortable. It's just not a good jumper, but I didn't really expect him to be either. This tail looks a little bit funny when they jump. It looks very straight. Like, it's so nice and fluid, but then it goes not very fluid. It goes very straight. So yeah, this is not a horse you want to take a lot of jumping pictures with. Let's see here. I love this like gallop. Ooh, okay, that is this moment in time should be down here, not at the like the peak of the jump. So that's not very good. Like it just never finishes the jump. Why does it look like that? Like you should not be down here. You should have already rotated and like be on the way back, or like having your legs out in front of you. I feel like that's been kind of a thing lately. It feels like the jump is a little bit ill-timed, or like the animation. It feels like a little bit delayed. Like it just like falls to the ground, almost lands at the same time with both like front and back legs, which I feel like it's such a shame. Like the horse doesn't have to jump well, but it's like, can it please obey the laws of physics? I feel like when I go here in the fastest, like at the absolute maximum speed, I feel like it's probably gonna be snapping back to the ground. Yup. Yup. Okay, that's not good. And it's not just the fact that like, what I mean is, I'm not expecting the horse to jump well, but the animation itself feels very like out of sync with the actual like state machine or whatever. Like the animation just feels like it's delayed, and then the horse like snaps to the ground instead of actually like landing. And of course, it's always hard to like calculate exactly where, because you can jump anywhere in the game, and it doesn't actually like, it's not affected by, you know, how far away from the ground or how big the jump is. But it's just like, I feel like if you're jumping on flat ground, the horse should probably be landing like normally, as it should, if that makes sense. So that's a little bit of a disappointment in my opinion. All right, we've looked at all the gates. Let's now train our horse a little bit so that I can get to level 7 and actually show off the special movement, which should be the rack then. Let's pretend I didn't just crash. I'll see you guys in a second. May have been a second in the edit, but it's been a couple hours. I had a lunch break and everything. And I have also now leveled the horse up to level 7. So now we can actually take a look at the special gate, which I have not done yet. I'm assuming that it is walk shift. Okay. So this looks a lot more like the slow gate that I thought the other one was. This one. So is this supposed to be the rack? But it's not. The whole point was that it was synchronized, right? Like it's so very obviously not synced. Like it's not a, I mean, I'm assuming that this is like kind of a pace, right? And it's supposed to be synchronized, but it's not, which is why I thought it was a slow gate. This is, I mean, this has to be the slow gate, right? I mean, this is obviously a lot clearer, no? Okay, that has confused me a little bit. If somebody can maybe put some clarity on which one is which, that would be much appreciated. I don't have reshoot turned on, sorry. Oops. Anyways, I mean, it's a cool gate though. And this one feels a little bit less exaggerated than the other one, which I'm sure that they're not the same, like they're not the same gates, so it's supposed to be different. It's an interesting difference, I guess. I'm obsessed with this like super loose arm that our character has when doing this like one hand riding. It looks really good. It does feel a little bit snappy, but I think that's kind of what we spoke about before. But I think it's like, it's their attempt at making it like it's kind of stomping into the ground a little bit. And I think it is hard probably to define what's a snapping animation and what's just like intentional. Alright, so final verdict for this horse, I guess. Very positively surprised. I think they were a lot... I'm not gonna say that they were a lot nicer than I thought they were gonna be, but they are a lot more my taste than I thought they were gonna be. Like I said, I'm not interested in gaited horses normally, and I didn't think I was gonna like this horse. It's just not really my type, but I'm very positively surprised. I must say that the animations are a lot better than I thought they were, which also makes me really excited for the future horses, especially like the revamped Frisian and stuff. Just to like see kind of if they're bringing kind of this sort of standard to the next horses as well. The coats are gorgeous. I must say their model overall is really nice. The animations, like I said, I was positively surprised. I am confused about the racking versus the slow gait. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm assuming that the special move is the slow gait because it's a lot slower, but neither of them seem to be a rack. Because the rack was supposed to be synchronized. Like, yeah. Anyone who actually knows about this stuff and can maybe elaborate, you're more than welcome to, because I don't know. Like I've stated multiple times. But overall, just really, really pleased with this model. It was really, really nice. It's fun to see this gaited horse compared to like the Tennessee Walker. The Tennessee Walker is good, but this one feels like even more fluid in my opinion. And they're both gaited horses. They're both fairly similar, at least from my understanding. So yeah, just lovely, lovely model. I think it looks great. I think it does super well in pictures. I'm very happy with it. And just, yeah, very, very good job, honestly. I didn't think I was gonna be interested in buying more, but now I definitely am. That chestnut pinto, whatever, you know what I mean. That one really interested me, so I might just get myself one of those. And I'm excited to see what they come up with next. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. If you want to support me and what I do, then please do sign up to the game with any alternative accounts, or if you want to start playing, with the link in my description. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!